Okay, we're going to look at reflections now. I'm going to give you a couple reflections and some examples of them, and you can find ways to use them. Clues. So the first reflection, I'm going to show you how to reflect across the line if we see x equals 0. How do we reflect across the line x equals 0? Well, x equals 0 is this y-axis, because that is the place where the horizontal amount is 0. This is x equals 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So if I have a point, I'm going to pick a random point there. If I'm going to reflect that around the axis of x equals 0, the easiest way is to take tracing paper, draw my axis, different pen. I'm going to draw the axis every time. I'm going to draw my point, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around the line x equals 0. Match up the axis, and there's my new point right over here. So as you can see, it started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps away from the y-axis, and it's going to flip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps away. We're reflecting it across the line x equals 0. If I wanted to reflect it across the line y equals 0, well, that is the x-axis. I'm going to do the exact same thing, though. I'm going to draw my axis. I'll take my point, but I'm going to flip it this way across the x-axis, which is the line y equals 0. And here's my new point, right there. So this one was probably 8 steps away, and here it's got to be 8 steps away also. Now, another kind you might see is, what about reflecting across the line y equals x? Across the line y equals x. So for that, I need to draw the line y equals x, which is really like 1x plus 0. It starts at 0, has a slope of 1. I need to make sure this line is completely accurate and that it's going at exactly a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to draw that line in. And then I can take a point like this. Let's say I've got a point, well, let's take this one down here. Maybe that didn't work. I got to flip it, that's why. Let's take this one. I'm going to reflect it across this line now. So here's my line. I'm going to draw that in on my tracing paper. And all that's going to happen is I'm going to take this, flip it, match it up, and here's my new reflected point way over here. So if this is 1, this is 2. Now what you'll notice here is that this is like 1.5 steps away over here. That's 1.5. Then this is going to be 1.5 also, right? If this is 1, I'm flipping it over this line to make 2. The other thing you might see sometimes is, what about reflecting across the line y equals negative x? Well, that's almost the exact same, except for my slope is negative 1. So I'm going to draw the line that goes up 1 over 1. Make that a perfect line. Don't just guesstimate it. Actually make it go through those points. We want that to go through those points perfectly. And I'll start with this point here, let's say. And I'm just going to take my tracing paper. I'm going to draw my axis, my y-axis, my x-axis, and here's my line, y equals negative x. That was a terrible line there. I'm going to put my point, and then I'm just going to reflect. Reflect right there, line it all up, and there's my new point right there. Now what I should see is 1, 2 whole steps away here and 1, 2 whole steps away there. That is reflections.